I'm trying to imagine what's like swinging this thing.
Dang on NASCAR, man.
You got storage.
Oh yeah,
You got storage.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Dicks and balls. Are we ready to go? As I'm just saying profane things. I'm Zach Mertens. Standing behind me is Boomhauer. Would it be standing since it's on wheels? Doesn't really have legs. It's a 1974 C10. It's a daily driver, if you want to call it that. This truck has probably been through a lot of different hands, but at some point I'm guessing it was like a work truck for like in a corporate fleet, because it had some stickers on it where it's like, if you f this up, you're responsible for it kind of thing. It's been through a hard life. Like the frame has been bent slightly and tweaked slightly in different places. Shit was cut off of it with a torch, like really piss poor cut lines and stuff. Like the front suspension was all tweaked up. It has like a shitty respray paint job where there was like overspray on everything. You know, I think it was like the perfect test bed for doing something like this, where you don't mind if you beat on it and, you know, if it gets a nick somewhere, a door ding, like, you know, it sat in the shop, and then miraculously somebody that was working on a car next to it just so happened this was just there the next day. You know, but it doesn't matter. You know, it's an old truck, and it lends to the look, you know what I mean? My interest in cars started as a young child. Actually, no, I didn't really even, I liked cars, but I was really into motorcycles since I was a kid. My uncle built me my first motorcycle when I was 6 years old, and it was his son's that he built for him, and then he got drunk and rode it off of a bluff into a river. Then he went to jail for a while, and then when he got out of jail, he was living with my grandma and really didn't have anything to do, you know? So he built me that motorcycle and then taught me how to ride. And that like sparked my interest in just doing rad motorsport shit.
I'm here to see you bake them up. Nah, y'all ain't wearing shorts on top of your pants. You gotta wear shorts on top of your pants. Casual Monday, baby.
Yeah.
It's Casual Monday.
Are those out right now?
I don't think these are ever
They're not
getting
even
made.
like sweatpants. I've never seen anybody wear those
these-
without sweatpants.
Oh, those from the sample.
Yeah, these were testes, and
So yeah, this is my truck. You guys have all seen it. I actually got it detailed.
we haven't seen this truck. This truck is clean as I don't know what truck.
100% the cleanest it's been in probably a decade, because it wasn't this clean when you
There's
got it.
pearl in the paint.
I know.
Have you ever seen it?
No, I had no idea.
I didn't realize that
It like
either.
feels
until-
nice.
I mean, this,
God,
it's
that like freshly waxed feel.
the paint's seen better days, but I mean, this is about as clean as it can get.
About it.
Yeah.
Zach, I love your truck, man.
Thanks.
You just do, you know, you put your arm out the window, got this arm up there, and then you just go.
The idea originally was get it up and running, make it a little bit more reliable. Started out doing like a Holley Sniper EFI kit on it, replaced the whole fuel system, and then did a Curry 9-inch rear end. I knew I was eventually gonna put, you know, some ridiculous horsepower to it. Plus I wanted to spin both tires. And then I put like a Beltec lowering kit on it. That lasted for 2 weeks like that. After that 2 weeks, I just decided to tear it all the way down, tear all the suspension back off of it, whole front end off, rip the engine and trans out, and then we went into phase 2 of the build. We did a Texas Speed 434 cubic inch re-sleeved LS3, a Gearstar Pro 4L80E level 4 transmission, full QA1 suspension on all 4 corners with coilovers. Basically every Holley LS swap part that I could use, and it fit in perfectly. A full chassis harness with painless performance, new gauges from Dakota Digital, new wheels from Detroit Steel, Willwood brakes all around, and their Pro spindles up front. It parties. My first car was a 1998 Mustang Cobra, and I definitely crashed it very similar to how a lot of people crash Mustangs. From there, I dove back into motorcycles pretty much full time. I didn't have a car again until college, and then from there I had a 91 full-size Bronco with a 351 in it, with a whopping 190 horsepower and 5 miles to the gallon on the highway. That too had straight open exhaust. I have a theme, like basically anytime I have a V8, it has to be irritatingly loud. Before Boomhauer, I basically, the last vehicle that I built would be my S&S powered Dyna, and I did that here basically after hours. The same way I did Boomhauer, just it took a lot less time. Oh yeah, I guess I did the banana hammer, but I was currently doing this at the same time. Does that count?
Look at his face.
Look at his face.
That's how driving.
But now see, it's got a lot of suspension in this seat.
I'm just, my butt is fully like compressing. It's nice. But I'm trying to imagine what's like swinging this thing. Oops, sorry.
Damn.
I also respect that the boom tube comes out on the driver's side, because that thing is not quiet.
No.
Usually you let the passengers know.
Well, I mean, it's supposed to go out on that side, but the gas tank is on that side, so like,
that makes
heating up
sense.
fuel isn't always the best idea.
Yeah.
So it had to come out. But this is cool because like when you're on the highway, you get in that fast lane, just wah wah, like let it open.
It feels like this right here. Like I feel.
Every time I see him come into work, he has a big smile on his face.
Oh, yeah.
And I never saw that before. Probably because he had a helmet on.
I also hear him coming from work to work from the other side of the
I don't
building.
even own this thing, and I feel like you can't fuck with me sitting in this seat. Like that's just the way I feel right now. Just like, oh, you want some juice? What? Nah, it's not happening. You don't got nothing.
It's got a footprint
This
gas
is
pedal.
perfect. This is a perfect. I love
Footprint gas pedal. It's ready to party.
it. That's a baby foot.
Your baby's foot.
Well, the truck's called Boomhauer because it's running a set of NASCAR boom tubes for exhaust. Now, what are boom tubes, you might ask?
Because in NASCAR every system is weighed, measured, and tested in order to increase the overall performance. A 1% difference can give an incredible competitive edge to an 800 horsepower machine. In order to minimize limits to power, it is crucial that exhaust be unimpeded, which is why most race vehicles historically have run without mufflers, and instead feature open-ended exhaust with the minimum required tubing. In 1995, regulatory changes forced the development of a new exhaust system. Boom tubes, cleverly named for their iconic thunderous tone, quickly became an industry standard in NASCAR and created that sweet race sound. Using oval tubing, interior built NACA ducting for increased air scavenging, and a long, wide, and uniquely flat output running tight to the chassis. Boom tubes proved effective due to their lack of interference in airflow, broadening of the torque curve, and creating an uncanny single-source performance increase at high speeds. Today boom tubes have become more widely produced for commercial use, commonly installed on hot rods and classic projects in order to maintain that authentic chop. So if you hate your neighbors but love your car, it's not a hard choice to make.
Kurt came up with that name, by the way. It wasn't me, you know? He was there and we were firing it up and he was like, it basically has to be called Boomhauer. Boomhauer, dang on NASCAR, man.
Whoa, man, you talking about that NASCAR, man? I've been trying over 5 years, man, to get on that dang old pace car, man. You gonna get me on there, down on there?
You know, driving it around town, like, it ain't that bad, you know? Like, because it's an auto, it's pretty easy to just manage. Other than the noise, you know, you get a lot of looks from people like, what the f***? But I think most people, because of the way it looks on the outside, just think it's like the exhaust fell off. You know what I mean? But it's like, oh, yeah, it's like, oh, it's just like running like shit and it doesn't have exhaust. It's just some beat-ass old truck. Which was, you know, that's the idea. I feel like if this thing was like super clean, people, you know, the cops would probably be like, hey, you're being an asshole. Yeah. Not like, oh, this guy's just broke. I have never built a car or truck in my life. This was basically diving headfirst into something I knew very little about. You know, you just like tear something all the way apart and then you try to figure out how to put it back together. Well, that's this. I think that's why it took as many months as it did, because there's just so much trial and error. And luckily we got guys here that know what they're doing, sort of. And then, you know, we have like friends that are actually professionals that sometimes come and lend a hand. But yeah, this was my first attempt at building a vehicle.
We're gonna be real here. None of this matters except for this. Like without this,
Oh yeah.
100%.
without this, none of this matters.
So the actual first thing I considered when doing this was, can I put AC on it?
It's a must.
Driving around in old shitty trucks without AC, I've done it my entire life. It's the worst feeling, and like just in the world when you're in the desert, you're in like a bunch of humidity. Yeah. So I wasn't about to deal with that again. That works perfectly.
I'm proud of you.
It's so clean.
It is. Although I'm really proud. I'm super, super proud, because just like any proper truck of this era, you got the front trunk. You got storage.
Oh yeah.
You got storage. We got all kinds of stuff.
I had no idea.
You're throwing it down. You're throwing it. You always.
You gotta.
Look how much room you got.
That's what that
It's
space is for.
It's perfect.
The interior is the next move. Probably gonna keep it pretty much like stock with a leather seat. Nice. I wanted to go like an old rustic like brown leather color. You know, like
sick.
That'd be red. Oh shit. I wasn't gonna build another car or even like attempt to, and then I found an incredible opportunity, and I might have bought a 1978 GMC Jimmy with a big block. So yeah, probably build that.
Gallery.
This thing sounds good, huh?
I love this.
You know it's good when everybody from the office comes outside.
Yeah.
Say what you will about V8s. When they sound like this, they sound really good. If he did any more than that, he'd smoke out the whole building and we'd have to go home. So he was just giving you a little bit of sauce.
That sounds like NASCAR.
Sounds so
That
ridiculous.
sounds like NASCAR.
It's
right
one
there.
of the best sounding V8s I've heard. I'm not gonna lie, man. This thing is delicious.
You know, hey,
We had a box full of testes. Everybody could grab them. I didn't grab the testes in time.
it's a good grab. That's a good grab.
Yeah, no, look how much room.
Yo,
It's snacks.
Oh, you want a honey bun?
you just got honey buns on deck.
I went to the gym today. I get to eat a honey bun.